What's up guys, this is my ultimate Viper guide for Ascent. When you're attacking a nice orb that you can do is line yourself up with this drainage thing and you aim at this small cloud and you just bring out your poison orb and left click and this one lands on boxes or dice. So when you turn this on, it actually blocks vision from heaven, which is very good for you to push. You just have to be sure to clear hell because sometimes players play in the smoke, so just be aware that people can play in this area. Another good smoke is to stand in this corner and place the pop out right click for when you use the poison orb right on this corner. So bring out the poison orb, you align it like this, jump left click, and this one will land in heaven. When your team pushes up, it blocks heaven. For A walls, normally if you're with a good team, this is a way better wall to do by aiming up, standing here and left clicking. This wall allows you to get a lot of space in the side and blocks heaven, so you just have to clear this, although it's very hard in solo queue because sometimes a lot of players play here in gen. So when in solo queue, I would recommend to just throw the wall straight into the door frame. So normally in solo queue, instead of throwing that wall out, I will line myself up here with the door and just throw this. This way, a lot of the solo queue members are used to this door being closed anyway. It allows someone to run up here and close the door, and it doesn't block anything on sight, so people will clear it normally and won't make a false assumption that someone is, like you're safe, but actually someone's camping in the wall. On A, you can also throw a similar one-way, by walking here and counting 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 4th brick, you just stand right above it. You aim at this dark spot, bring out your poison orb, jump and right click. This one way is very good if you're holding heaven, as it gives you the most space for you to see their feet before they enter sight. For the dice's post plant, you want to stand right here in this corner and just put your crosshair right here where this gray bar extends out, and left click. This is very easy and it lands very fast in comparison to the other mollies. So when you hear a diffuse, you can click it as a reaction and it'll actually allow them to half it, but you will kill them before they fully diffuse it, although you have to remember that it is halved. If you were at B, is you stand on this wall and you aim on top, right on top of this shadow. When retaking sight, you can actually stand here on this metal staircase, and when you're at the top, you just aim using this as a reference and this to try and make like a triangle. And you want to look at your mini-map and make sure that you are looking at the dices box, left click it, and on average it should land here, just like that. If you're anywhere stuck on heaven, you can also line yourself up on this wall around somewhere near this window and just aim right below this brown window. This one goes on this plant. If you're anywhere in garden, you can also stand to the side of this pot and you can align your toxin bar right where these vines end to the end of this house corner. Just put your toxin bar right under there, left click, and this will land on dices. If you're holding tree from garden, you can also place a one-way here by standing between the 2nd and 3rd of these squares, aiming right at the top of this lamp, jumping and right clicking. When you stand on elevation like here in garden, this one-way actually allows you to see their feet before they enter. The safest place to plant in a site is behind gen right here, and there's a couple mollies that you can throw in that location. The first molly is here if you're in wine. You just line yourself up with this vines around here, and you want to left click on the actual balcony itself. It'll actually go through and land in gen. Another default molly you can do is right here in this corner. You want to line yourself up and put your HUD line right where this box is, like this, left click, and this will also land in gen. Instead of hiding right there, sometimes a lot of the attackers won't check this corner, and you can actually just stand here, put your toxin bar's first line right under this, and left click. This will also land in gen. If you want to go even further back, you have two options. You can go right in this corner or right here in the back. This one is kind of hard because you can't actually hear the diffuse, but what you do is you walk up right to this wall and you aim right on this house tip on the left side. And you just click. If you are standing here, the problem is you might get flanked by this person, but it's a low chance that they're actually going to check you. If you want to be extra safe, you can stand on this bench, on this corner, and put your mouse icon on this eagle head right here. And left click. This will also land on Jen. You can stand into this corner and put the middle of your ultimate right here, where the shadow of the building is. If you're up on short, you can stand in this corner and you align your HUD line, the right HUD line, where this box is. Just like that. And this lands on Jen as well. As a defender, or maybe even as an attacker, you can actually stand on this corner. You align your alt bar with this, right like this. And this will land on Jen. The two mollies I use when I'm in A and I have to retake B normally are, if I'm on this side, you align your HUD line with this black dot, and you jump and left click. This one will land on default. Another molly that you can do if you happen to come from heaven instead of garden is stand into this corner, put the right toxin bar, the last line, right here. So just before your ultimate, you want to put it right above this lamp and left click. For the same spot, you stand in this corner when you're close and aim right here on this line, somewhere in the middle of this gap. When you left click this, is actually hit this plant. Another molly from the same-ish area, in case you can't cross there, is you stand right up against this wall, not too far back, somewhere around the switch. You peek out to the right a little, and when you see this like air conditioning unit, you just left click it, so it would be this. If you're outside market, you can also stand just outside the door, aim right above the house, and left click. If you're inside B main, there are two mollies you can do. One is you throw it from here, you just peek out, and you aim right above this tree line to hit default. And the second one is while you're inside B, you can stand here, aim to the left corner of this house close to the tree, and left click. This one requires you to plant the bomb slightly to the left because it's very hard to get it right on it. Another molly you can do is stand into this corner and use the window of this floating house, and you want to put the dot of the crosshair that pops up when you use snake bite somewhere around here. The higher it is, the better. In combination with this, you can also throw your poison orb from the same spot. All you do is you look at these little spikes, this really long one, you just put your crosshair right above that, you bring out your poison orb and left click. And this lands right in the middle of boxes, which is great for post plants from outside if you haven't set up already. Another molly you can do if you don't want to get flanked from mid, from tiles, is you stand right here on the left of this door on this little thing, and you just want to put your toxin bar right below this window, and you want to left click. Shooting this molly for market, you can also stand into this corner, and you want to align the brown part of this building with your ultimate. So like that, you use it kind of like a crosshair and you left click. This will also land on default. In case you're always getting flanked from the player pushing this tiles, for both this and that location, you can actually shoot a molly all the way back in spawn right on top of this thing, but you can't actually hear the bomb being defused. So your team just has to have a lot of faith that you can land this molly. So what you do is you stand right above this drainage thing, and you just align yourself in the middle. You put your toxin bar right here, like in the middle of this house, to the right above it. You sit it right there, just like this. You jump and left click, and this lands on default. A very easy one way to do 4B is you stand right here in the middle, put your crosshair at the bottom of this ledge on the dark spot where it meets the light spot, jump and right click while the barriers are up. This is a really good one way which you can hold from market or from stairs, and it blocks a lot of vision for the attacker side. The round begins. You can also stand between this brick and this brick. Place your poison orb right here on this corner where the helmet of this mascot guy reaches the arch, and you want to jump and right click. This one way allows you to hold mid once you fall back. For B walls, you can stand right here where the cages are and put your Viper wall, making sure that you cover stairs. That way, when you turn it on, it gives you enough room for your team to pass through, turn on the switch, as well as block off this end from stairs, so that your entries only have to clear in these angles. So yeah, guys, that is my ascent guide. So I hope you guys... So yeah, that's the Viper top secret ascent guide. So please don't forget to like, share, and follow any of the videos. It really does help, and I will be releasing more guides really soon.